on the world news tonight. Those who can't accept pains of defeat don't deserve joy of election. Nadeko tells Tinubu to return Nigeria to federalism. Accord Party urges Tinubu to declare late MKO Abiola president-elect. Federal government declares more dangerous. Democracy Day, support Tinubu, war is over. Ohaneze Ndibo appeals to Atiku and Obi. IG Usman probes Aldapo Abiodun loaded 5 billion naira on bank linked. And on sport, Chelsea firmly interested in Osimhen Romano. Now the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has described any candidate who failed to endure and accept pains of electoral defeat as undeserving of the joy of winning in the next round of election. The President said this in his maiden broadcast to Nigerians today, Monday, in celebration of this year's Democracy Day. According to the President, the intense contest and outcome of the 2023 general election is a statement and testament of democratic stability in Nigeria over the years, adding that those who lose at the poll this year can win in the next round of election. He said this year we held the 7th in a cycle of elections that have become sacred rituals of our democratic practices in this dispensation since 1999. Those who cannot endure and accept pain of defeat in elections do not deserve the joy of victory when it is their turn to triumph. Above all, those who disagree with the outcome of the elections are taking full advantage of the constitutional provisions to seek redress in court. That is one of the reasons why democracy is still the best form of government invented by man.
This year, we held the 7th in the cycle of elections that have become sacred ritual of our democratic practice in this dispensation since 1999. That the polls were intensely contested is in itself positive evidence that democracy is well and alive in our land. It is only natural that even as those who won and experienced victory in various elections are elated and fulfilled, those who lost are disenchanted and disappointed. But the beauty of democracy is that those who win today can lose tomorrow, and those who lose today will have an opportunity to compete and win in the next rounds of elections. Those who cannot endure and accept the pains of defeat in elections do not deserve the joy of victory when it is their turn to triumph. Above all, those who disagree with the outcome of the elections are taking full advantage of the constitutional provisions to seek redress in court. That is one of the reasons why democracy is the best form of government invented by man.
The National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to return Nigeria to federal constitutional governance upon with the nation secured independence. NADECO Secretary General Ayo Okpadokun said this in a statement to commemorate Nigeria's Democracy Day anniversary on Monday in Lagos. The NADECO chieftain recalled how the military abrogated and substituted negotiated federal constitution and replaced it with various decrees which had neutralized and neutralized all government policies and activities. According to him, this in turn has occasioned injustice, inequity, disregard for rule of law, and all kinds of discrimination. Mr. Padokun, in the message titled June 12 and the Search for Democracy, said Mr. Tinubu should implement the report of the Nasser El-Rufai panel. He said that the panel recommended by APC fulfill its promise of returning Nigeria to federal constitutional governance. The NADECO leader said the path of federal constitutional governance was what most ethnic nationalities, civil society bodies, and opinion leaders had vigorously campaigned for in the last 30 years. He said this was because the country recorded visible development in all sectors, including the economy and education. The Accord Party, Lagos State Chapter, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to dispense justice on June 12 by declaring late MKO Abiola president-elect. This is contained in a statement by Dele Oladeji, state chairman of the party, to mark Nigeria's Democracy Day. Oladeji said the party wanted Tinubu to declare MKO as president-elect of the annual June 12, 1993 presidential election, so as to bring an end to a long-lingering injustice against Nigerians. Oladeji noted that the June 12th day remained a bright light and watershed on the checkered democratic history of Nigeria and Africa. We request a release of the official results of June 12th, a declaration of the late MKO as the president-elect, and presentation of insignia, office, and necessary compensation to his family. The chairman stated that the request would bring an end to lingering injustice and correct a devastating social and electoral spills against Nigerians and Nigeria. This request would not be for only late MKO, but for all Nigerians and the world at large, who will feel a huge relief. We'll go to the next story. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in Nigeria has issued a warning to the public about an anthrax outbreak in neighboring West African countries. As a result, Nigerians have been strongly advised to refrain from the consumption of hides, homo, smoked meat, and bush meat until the situation is under control. The outbreak was first identified near the northern border of Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Togo, putting the whole sub-region at risk. According to Dr. Ernest Afolabi Umakire, the ministry's permanent secretary, the bacterial disease that affect both animals and humans are already claimed live. He explained that the anthrax spores are naturally found in the soil and commonly affect domestic and wild animals. People can become infected with anthrax spores if they come in contact with infected animals or contaminated animal products. Anthrax symptoms mimic those of flu, including cough, fever, and muscles aches, which can escalate to severe lung problem, difficulty breathing, shock, and even death if detected and treated early. Although anthrax is not contagious and cannot be spread through close contact with an infected person, it can be transmitted to humans through the inhalation of anthrax spores or the consumption of infected animal products. Moving on to the next story. As Nigerians celebrate Democracy Day, the Ghanaians Ndibo Social Cultural Organization has appealed to the 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Ohanese urged Atiku and Obi to stop pursuing their cases at the tribunal and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okechukwu Izeguzoro, the Secretary General of Ohanese, said Atiku and Obi should support Tinubu with their ideas. Izeguzoro said both former presidential candidates should support Tinubu in the interest of nationalism and patriotism. Speaking, Izeguzoro said the money that Atiku and Peter Obi are using to pursue their cases at the tribunal we beg the two Nigerian patriots to support Tinubu because the war has ended. They should bring ideas to ensure that Nigerians don't experience severe hardship. Izeguzoro also urged Tinubu to ensure that his appointment reflects federal character. He charged the president to consider the Igbos when giving out key appointments. His appointment must reflect the principle of federal character and ensure that the Southeast gets strong ministries that will transform the region economically and structurally. He charged the president to consider releasing Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. What we are yearning for is that Tinubu should listen to the appeal of Enugu State Governor and release Nnamdi Kanu and end the Monday sit-at-home order, he said. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has directed Police Commissioner Olanrewaju Oladimeji in Ogun to investigate Governor Dapo Abiodun over allegation that he loaded 5 billion naira on bank-linked vouchers to buy votes in the March 18 gubernatorial poll. The directive followed a petition to the police chief by Ladi Adebutu, the People's Democratic Party's governorship candidate in Ogun, alleging that Mr. Abiodun and the APC bought votes and perpetrated electoral violence and intimidation of voters. Mr. Adebutu, who spoke through his lawyer, Ehi Uwaifo, also accused Mr. Biodun of using 5 billion naira to induce voters with preloaded top-up gift cards loaded with 10,000 naira and 5,000 naira each. They said the 5 billion naira used by Mr. Abiodun in printing the cards and their cost violated the financial threshold of 1 billion naira mandated by Section 88 of the Electoral Act 2022. In a letter dated May 8th, signed by Idris Abubakar, the principal staff officer to the IGP, Mr. Baba ordered the Ogun Police Command to investigate the Ogun governor's alleged multi-billion naira vote buying. From Ogun, we go to Kano State. Chairman of the Al-Amanat Bureau de Change in Kano, Al-Aju Tani Dada, has described President Bola Tinubu's suspension of the former governor of Central Bank, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, as one of the best things to happen to the nation in recent times. Dada, who was echoing the voices of most of the traders at the Kano Forex market, popularly known as WAPA, said the Bureau de Change traders have to celebrate his exit from the Apex Bank due to the hardship he has imposed on Nigerians through the unpopular Naira redesign policy. The chairman revealed that they have been waiting patiently for this historic day to come, adding that today the former CBN governor is behind bars, awaiting intensive investigation into his shoddy activities while he held sways as the CBN governor. We were all jubilating when we heard the announcement that Mr. Godwin Emefiele was suspended. Our people are very happy over the appointment of Fola Shodun Shonubi as the new acting CBN governor. He is a man of integrity and competence, and he will hopefully discharge his duties diligently as the #1 man at CBN. Let us use the opportunity to call on the new CBN helmsmen to think of how to revive the exchange of rates of Nigerian black market rate and official rate to operate at a uniform price, he concluded. From Kano, we go to Plateau State. A traditional ruler in Plateau State, Joshua Makut, has been kidnapped by gunmen. It was learned that Makut, who is the paramount ruler of Moshere community in Bokos, local government area of the state, was abducted at his palace in locality on Sunday night. The governor of the state, Caleb Motfang, confirmed the development on Monday while appearing on a program organized to celebrate Democracy Day in the state. From Plateau State, we go to foreign story. Silvio Berlusconi, the former prime minister who reshaped Italy's political and cultural landscape while fending off multiple legal and sex scandals, has died aged 86. A spokesman confirmed to AFP Monday today. The billionaire media mogul was admitted to a Milan hospital on Friday for what aides said were pre-planned tests related to his leukemia. His admission came just 3 weeks after he was discharged following a 6-week stay at Milan's San Raffaele Hospital, during which time doctors revealed he had a rare type of blood cancer. Berlusconi had suffered ill health for years, from heart surgery in 2016 to a 2020 hospitalization for coronavirus. Despite being re-elected to the Senate last year, he was rarely seen in public, but he remained the official head of his right-wing Forward Italia party, a junior and occasionally troublesome partner in Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni's coalition government. Berlusconi led Italy 3 times between 1994 and 2011 for a total of 9 years, wooing voters with the promise of economic success only to be forced out as the debt crisis gripped his country. And to end the world news is a sports story. Chelsea are still exploring the possibility of signing Victor Osimhen from Serie A champions Napoli this summer, according to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. Osimhen has been linked with the move to Stamford Bridge this season. Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain, and Bayern Munich are also interested in the striker. They're exploring very different options. For example, they like Victor Osimhen, and they had some conversations also with Atlanta as Ramsus Hodgson to be informed of the occasion deal. They are exploring many options, but they have not made any decision yet, Romano said. The Nigerian international was the top scorer in Serie A last season with 26 goals. The 24-year-old scored 5 goals in 6 appearances for the Panthers in the UEFA Champions League. With the sports story, we end the world news this hour from BGI TV Currents. Before we go, some top headlines. Those who can't accept pains of defeat don't deserve joy of election. Tinubu. Nadeko tells Tinubu to return Nigeria to federalism. Accord Party urges Tinubu to declare late MKO Abiola president-elect. Federal government declares Omo dangerous. And to other headlines, support Tinubu, war is over. Ohaneze appeals to Atiku and Peter Obi. On sports, Chelsea firmly interested in Osimhen, Romano. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Comments. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagide with Alawi, like and follow the page. For advertisement, influence and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching an Happy Democracy Day in Nigeria and at Nigerians in diaspora. I am Momo Rabila Lawa. Good evening.